party trying to...
No way.
He's like...
Is he already in it?
Yes. Well, no, he's like, send out a search party?
Maybe.
And this was Cigars is live.
There we go. There we go.
Should we do this? Should we put this up as promo?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's use that Douce real quick, though. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Get some of that. Get some of this French tequila in you.
Yeah. Well,
What up, Larry?
You know what?
No, this is Brandon's.
Your brain's right there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Give me yours.
That one is yours, Pops. Welcome back to the wagon.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, thank you.
All right, J. Scott, or poor J. Scott.
Yeah.
You want that for your vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. All channels
Oh, we got the
good.
Yeah, we got a reminder.
Look at that. Yeah, that's what that is.
I know those.
That's-
I know those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the
We're smoking good. We're smoking good tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna do
we
Habano.
smoke good all the time.
Yeah, pretty much all the time.
But this thing, box press, Lancero.
Will you
Yeah,
check
fucking
audio
good.
for us, please, Bob? See if we're clipping.
Check. Checking.
Well, I can see here that we're a little hot.
Oh, there we go.
You killing the audio up top?
I'm gonna keep it on a little bit, but I just need to see if we're way over clipping or where we're at.
What's up, Larry?
There we go.
Adams?
Hold
Let
on.
us know what the audio sounds like, ladies and gentlemen.
Larry, how's the audio sound? I guess if you can't hear us, you wouldn't be able to... Sounds pretty good.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I'll bring it down. It's a little
I can
hot,
hear
but
it. It's almost like noise canceling.
well, we got 35 seconds to figure it out. I think we're in the good range now.
Michael Brown coming in says, sounds great.
Yep. 15.
No pressure.
Ready?
Nah.
You ready?
Oh, man. You ready? Let's go.
That's it.
Let's go. Come on.
Right here. Right here.
All right.
Where's what's going?
Oh, there we go.
He's got strong hands.
Teamwork.
Damn, strong
Football
hands.
hands, right?
Oh, that is it. Oh, we've got some late echoes. That's okay. Hey, thank you for those of you who are joining us. This is Cigar Talk Live. This is our Tuesday get-together. We do it religiously, and we're now bumping it up to the front so we can talk to those guys who have been drinking since 4 o'clock this afternoon and us who we've been drinking since 8:33 p.m. So, I mean, allegedly. But if you're watching this, don't forget to comment, like, share, do all the social things, make the algorithm happy. Let's feed the beast.
Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, too.
And make sure you subscribe. Damn, value add. That's the first one.
I've never said that.
You know what? Let's just kick it off. Let's start this show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to all you.
To greatness.
To great. Oh, let's talk about greatness.
And cheers to you. Thanks for joining in.
Damn. Oh, I'm for that.
French
That's good
tequila.
tequila.
French tequila.
We're drinking French tequila tonight from Douce, which is
Thanks, BD.
French for tequila.
Isn't that Diddy's?
No, Jay-Z.
That's what I
Jay-Z.
said. Yeah, that's what I said. To my right side, we have the esteemed Jonathan Scott with us. This is going to be a great show of true greatness. Man, thank you so much. Will you please give someone a 90-second snapshot of your life?
90-second snapshot, I would say. Dallas, Texas native, born and raised, graduated from David Wendell Carter High School, honors, sixth in my class.
Yes.
Then after that, graduated from University of Texas, national championship 2005. Went on to the NFL, played in the NFL for 10 years. Played in Super Bowl 45 with the Steelers. And I am a businessman, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and now published author. I did that in 30 seconds. There
Let's
you
go.
go.
Let's go. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have done none of those things that you just said, so I'm looking forward to just having a great, productive conversation that has nothing to do with how much better he is than all of us.
That's right. And bigger, by the way. I think he was the largest running back in the league for a long time.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I played a little bit.
You played with Jerome.
I played fullback, but I played soccer. Yes, I did when I was Oak Cliff Lions. Go Lions.
Wow. Oh, man.
So tonight's show is actually also brought to us by Definition Cigars. We are smoking the brand new, just came in the box, just opened the boxes today of the 919 Lancero, box press Lanceros. We've had the privilege to smoke these pre-production, and spectacular cigar. Jamon is in the house. The owner of DC is one of our members here, so we're proud to have him part of the family. But this cigar, the 919, was a cigar that I always said was going to put him on the map. If any of the review houses get a hold of that cigar, that he is going to blow up. And now it's in a Lancero, my favorite size. So thank you for sponsoring the tonight's show, and of course.
Didn't you pull these from our inventory?
Yeah, I had to pay for them, but he's a new company, so I didn't want to strap him with that bill.
Yeah, what would you do with that? Yeah, without a doubt. No, without a doubt. Definition Cigars, thank you for selling us the cigars that we ultimately used on this show. Talking to you, Jamon, over there. I want to start the show off right and just get a question out there. Then all seriousness, to really understand the theme of the show. For Cigar Talk Live, we do talk about, I'm not going to go into the big three, but picture yourself in a field. Infinite boundaries. Sun's coming up, dew in the morning. You get an aluminum bat, and then an infinite number of 10-year-olds with helmets come. How many can you take out before they actually, get you?
Before they actually get me, all of them. 10-year-olds? Oh, all of them. All of them.
I'll kick a 10-year-old's ass.
You take all of them, you think?
Absolutely.
A million 10-year-olds with an aluminum bat in a field?
Yeah, absolutely, because I have a certain mindset. I am a savage. If I have an objective and I want to accomplish it, I will do it, period. And it's just that simple. So it's the mindset. But I would be a little weary. Why do they have these bats? And why are they coming at me? Right? What did I do? Right? Yeah.
All valid points, but I think just an important question as we get into it. A winner mindset. A loser says they're not going to hit a 10-year-old. A winner says he'll kill all the 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
So that one's definitely getting caught.
Yeah.
Josh Sims is coming in to feed the algorithm to get us canceled and said, fuck them kids. So you understand how this show works.
It's a little different.
Yeah, this isn't your normal podcast, which is why all these demented folks watch us every single week.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the FCC right now.
Kathleen agrees with that for sure.
And thank you for joining us. But we'll talk cigars just briefly. How would you describe your palate?
So I would definitely say smooth, but complex. And I like a little surprise here and there, when you get to the different types of tobacco, I like Ecuadorian Sumatra. I like the San Andreas. That's definitely my go-to. And I like age, because let's be real. These are not exactly going to improve my life and health, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to smoke something, it's going to have to be good.
Yep.
It's going to have to be done right and done with a certain level of excellence, and that's what I smoke on, and that's what I'm gonna continue to smoke on.
Yeah. And I want to point out, because this also feeds into our group, Cigar Newbies. That's a great mindset to have as you're getting into the cigar journey. As you enter this journey, you'll be tricked into going for the largest cigar for the cheapest amount of money, or I can get a bundle for $40, things like that. You will constantly be let down.
Yes.
Just treat yourself to a quality cigar, and it just makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
And age is your friend, so when you can find cigars that have great age, by all means, take those cigars because you will taste the difference for sure.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, age doesn't necessarily mean expensive. That's one thing people have to understand. Age does not mean expensive. There's a lot of quality tobacco from different parts of the region, marked at different prices, and you can get a 3-year aged cigar under $10.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
For sure.
Eliminating that misconception is definitely important, especially when you're getting into cigars. You don't have to go with the uber name brands all the time.
True.
Yeah. So
because they're less likely to let a cigar age.
They
they're
can't.
under
The
more
economics
pressure to
are
get
not
the
there.
volume
Right.
So you're better off getting with a lower volume, less known name. And when we say less known, keep in mind, if you're seeing ads in Cigar Aficionado, an ad flight in that magazine costs for a year $250,000 to $500,000. That's all going into the cost of the cigar. You're smoking an ad.
Here's a question that's coming in from Michael Brown. Thank you for chiming into this. How does a cigar age? Now, a question I will toss back there is, are you looking for what is the process to aging a cigar? Are the differences? Go just to the next level of that question. How does a cigar age? Because the simple math is the longer it rests, the smoother it gets. Aging is nothing more than just letting it sit. So
it's fermentation. One of the things that Jonathan he's an expert at many things. One of the things I've always been fascinated about is his knowledge of cognac. And when you tell a little bit about you have been to France,
right,
and tell them about which company did you go to? Louis Trey?
Yeah. So Remy Martin.
So talk a little bit about how the creators of that will never taste their own product.
Yeah. So to kind of first you got to understand, and that's kind of the theme of the day, is talking about mindset. The mindset with Remy Martin, and that's how they pronounce it, Remy Martin, right? But Remy Martin, right? Their whole concept is patience, right? Being patient, allowing the juice, allowing the liquor, if you will, to take its time and to go through the process. You even hear it in football, trust the process. And one thing that their value system is having consistency. And they've had consistency for what we're talking 2-3 centuries, right? And they never do it. Yes, there's a monetary aspect behind it of selling a good product, but they never compromise the product just to get dollars, right? And so that's the whole thing, is their mentality is patience. And when you get into the actual the juice, it's all about doing the process correctly, doing it with attention to detail. They focus on the minutia, and it comes out consistent. And then when you're talking about Louis Trey, which is their at least 100-year age cognac.
100 years?
100 years.
What the?
100 years, yes. 100 years or more, right? And I mean, it's all about aging. It's all about getting the right grape, getting the what they call it, the EDUV, which is called, it's the juice before they start aging it, which is called, it stands for like the water of life. I think it's all about.
Sounds right.
It's a different culture. Like cognac, the city of cognac is all about cognac. Like the manufacturing, the distribution, the farmers, everything. Like that's what they do. It's cognac. And so
100 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Well,
Can you sit? Yeah, like sitting on some product.
Yeah.
If you're a business
100 years.
person and you're in the Western mentality,
you're not going to
sitting
live.
on a 100-year-old product, then you're not going to be alive.
No, if you're 30 or 40 at that time and you're in the process,
You're not gonna
Maybe your grandkids will taste it.
Exactly, right. Maybe, right? And it's patience. It's just being patient. Now, of course, their whole product line is not just 100-year-old cognac, but it's consistent. It's real consistent. And I became a fan of it because, man, they're very passionate about it. The family is very passionate about it, and you gotta have respect for that. And it's the same thing with tobacco. Like when you're dealing with a tobacco that go from germination to rolling, you got a good stick. You got to wait 5 years for it to come to maturation.
And Michael's asking, does it age in a barrel like bourbon, or is it ready rolled and ready to smoke in the humidor? Really, you can do a number of different things, but at the end of the day, that cigar is rolled, put into in an aging room in a humidor, and it just sits, and that tobacco just marries, and you cannot speed that up.
No, it's the very, very short, fast version of the process is there's a process where they pick from the bottom of the plant all the way to the top. They literally lay down plastic sheets and they scoot through on their butt, and they pull these leaves off. They harvest those, they stick a cord through it, they tie them and bunch them together, put them in an aging barn. They'll sit in the aging barn until they turn from green to brown. Once that process is done, they're then stacked in what's called a pilon, which is basically about 4 pallets, if you can imagine 4 pallets. And it's just a very organized pile. And when it sits there, with a compost pile, that grass and the leaves and everything will start to get warm. They're fermenting. Well, the tobacco itself will ferment. Once that tobacco gets in a certain temperature range, typically between 96 and 110 degrees, they'll rotate it. And they're constantly rotating. There's a stage where the tobacco becomes sick, where we've been in those fermentation rooms. It smells like death.
Yeah, you get sick.
It is horrible. And these guys are shuffling around without face masks or anything on, and they're taking the top tobacco and putting it to the bottom, and they just continue to rotate that tobacco. But from about 12 months to 16 months, it's kicking off straight ammonia. At that point, some of these companies that want to do volume will put that tobacco into production. So if you ever smell the foot of a cigar and you get that kind of burning sensation in your nose, that's ammonia. Don't smoke it. Just let it sit. That'll eventually go away.
What? Yeah, we won't name names, but
we won't name names.
Adrian will. But okay, so then after that,
once it sits through the fermenting process, it'll sit for, let's call it a year or 2 years, hopefully. They let that age. They'll go in there and they'll pull the veins out of the leaves. They'll sort them. They'll let them sit for a little bit longer, and then a master blender goes to work on different leaves from different regions of the world that all have different flavors. And like any fine ingredients in the hands of a fine chef, they have the ability to know what these different leaves are going to taste like when they're together. And when you get with somebody who has incredible knowledge, like Luciano, for example, or Nelson Alfonso, some of these guys, they can taste a cigar that still to us tastes young, but they know where it's going to be. Now, in the case of Nelson Alfonso and Atabey, he said his biggest challenge, he lets his cigars sit after they're rolled for a minimum of 3 years. So when you're going to let a cigar sit for 3 years, he has to imagine what that cigar is going to taste like at the end of 3 years. And then at that point, you let that post roll, and you let, like Brandon said, you let that cigar marry together. So there's that whole process. Once that cigar is rolled, it then rests again, hopefully for 6 months to,
years.
The longer is better, because it gets all those impurities out. And obviously that's what's happening with Louis Trey. At 100 years, they probably know at 70 years it's better than anything out there,
right.
But they're going to let it sit and take that time.
Yep. And it's and what also happens too is in the cognac and even bourbon and scotch, what happens is there's a certain maturation that happens with the juice and the barrel, and they become one, and they create a certain distinction that's just like no other. Mm-hmm. And then that's the beauty of enjoying that cigar or enjoying that juice, is that you get to get those distinctions. And so that's what makes it, for me, I don't drink spirits to get, inebriated. I drink it to have an experience. And when you actually get you get that time to really experience something, it becomes kind of magical, right? Yeah. And that's what I enjoy. That's why I only smoke good cigars, is because I want a great experience. I'm not doing it for clout or to look cool. I'm actually doing it to enjoy having an experience.
Since we are unfortunately in some sort of educational period here, I do want to give a quick opportunity for the biggest one-up of first cigar experiences ever. Jonathan Scott has probably the coolest first cigar experience that no one who is watching has experienced this. Will you talk about what it is? I've asked you to say this a few times because it never gets old. What was your
I don't think I've heard this.
Oh, it's cool as shit.
So do you want the abbreviated version or take my time and set the scene?
Set it up.
Set it up?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, so as you know, I played University of Texas. 2005, we played in the national championship.
Yep.
So, great team, great. I mean, one of the most memorable moments of my life, being around just greatness. Vince Young, Selvin Young, Ramon Taylor, Jamal Charles, Tony Hills. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
The list definitely goes on. So what happened was, you get to that final moment in the game and you realize, like, oh, shit. Can we say shit?
Yeah. I mean, we said fuck the kids a bit ago.
Right. And I'm like, oh, shit,
We're talking about beating 10-year-olds. We're fine.
We're good. All right, cool. So it's like, oh, shit, I'm in the national championship. We had a TV timeout, and I was like, damn.
Wow.
We're in the national championship. But what happened was, after, get to the point, Vince scores, we're up, defense makes a great stop, boom, we win the national championship. Right, one of the greatest moments.
Rose
right?
Bowl.
Rose Bowl, the Rose Bowl, right?
Nice.
In the previous year, we were actually in the Rose Bowl playing Michigan.
Yep.
And we actually kind of created a manifestation. Yeah, we're coming back. We're gonna be back here. And so we did. And we won. Mm-hmm. And just to put out there, if there's any USC fans, the hell with all y'all. We beat you. Now what? We're number one, and I have nothing else to say to that. Drop mic. Anyway.
Yeah.
So after the game, of course, celebrations galore, right? So we go. We're staying at a hotel in Beverly Hills. You got to remember, it's key moment. We're in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
We're in Beverly Hills. So we're staying at this nice hotel. I can't think of the name of the hotel, but it's plush. It's Texas. We do nothing but the best, right? And so my dad was at the game. Of course, he came to the hotel and he was just like, "Son, I'm so proud of you." Like, I just, just one of those father-son moments.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm just so proud of you. You've done no wrong, man. You've just been the perfect son," right? And so, I'm kind of choked up. I'm like, "Thanks, Pops."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we're sitting in the hotel lobby, and so everybody's like, "Jay Scott, hey, we going out. We about to turn up." Yeah, I'm like, all right. I'm like, cool. And my dad was like, "Hey, son, spend a little time with your old man." And I'm saying, all right, why not, right? Yeah. So I'm like, cool. So we sit down in the lobby in Beverly Hills in the hotel, and we sit down, and he says, and of course he's, giving me all the gratitude and stuff, and he says, "You know what? I got something special for you," right?
Nice.
So he pulls out a cigar. All I remember, it was a Cohiba. Yep. That's all I didn't know. I didn't know the blends, and I didn't know what I was smoking.
Yeah.
But when I constantly think Cohiba, cigars, I think Cuban.
Yep.
And I want to think Cuban, I think you at the top of the world, right?
Yeah.
So my dad pulls out the cigar, and he was like, he gives me one. He has one for himself. And so at that point, and so he gets the cutter. He cuts my cigar, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, hold up." He said, he gets the waitress, and he says, "Waitress, come by." The waitress comes by and says, "You know what? Let me get some Macallan 12." Now, all I know is Macallan is the good shit.
Yeah.
That's the good shit. Yeah. And I was like, damn. I'm like,
Oh shit.
okay, all right, cool. So he gets the Macallan 12. Let me get 2 doubles. I was like, okay, all right. So I'm thinking to myself, my college days, I'm thinking, shot. Nah. And he's like, yeah, just take your time. We're gonna enjoy ourselves, right? So at that point, they bring the Macallan, and he fires it up, lights the cigar, and he says, all right, enjoy it. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't smoke no cigar in front of my daddy. I can't, I can't.
How old were you at this time?
So at this time, I'm like 21?
You're
21.
Yeah,
So
you're young.
so I'm young. I never smoked a cigar in my life, right? Ever. And so at this point, we light the cigar, and we sit back. Again, we're in the lobby.
Yeah.
of the hotel.
In California.
In California. Literally, the front desk is maybe 5 yards away from us, 10 yards away from us. And then sure enough, we light the cigar. We puff it, then we just lay back. And I mean, it was the coolest moment. No one said a fucking word to us. I'm like, and I'm sitting here with my pops. And like, you gotta also like kind of backstory. My dad is my idol. I never idolized any football players. I always idolized my dad.
That's right.
And so at that moment, it was the coolest moment that I just won a national championship. I got a cigar, and he gave me a drink with the man I idolized. And I was like, at that moment, I felt like a man. Like, I really felt like a man.
Doesn't get better than that.
Doesn't get any better than that. So that moment when Joe Burrow, when he won the national championship, I saw him smoking that cigar, I was like, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. And so that was the birth of me enjoying cigars, right?
Love it.
Not to make it a morbid moment, but my father passed away in 2009. And so now what happens is that as I smoke a cigar, there's this reflective moment that I have with my dad. And so it's just that moment of just knowing like I'm in the right mindset. I'm in a place of positivity. And so I always relive that moment in my head because it was like no other, because you're finally getting accepted from the person that you idolize, right? And so that's what the cigar does for me, is allow me to reflect. It allows me to appreciate everything that went into making this. Just like the same process. It's art, exactly. And it's the same process that we had to go through to win that national championship, waking up at 5:30 in the morning, busting our ass. Can't do what everybody else is doing. You got to make a sacrifice and commitment for excellence. And my whole thing is that why not relive that moment every single time I have a cigar?
That's deep.
And the beauty is when you sit in here, that olfactory sense is the strongest, memory fetching capability that we have. So it's always here.
And it wasn't so much about the cigar. It was about the experience I had with the cigar.
Can anyone top that story? No. At all, period?
No.
Definitely not. So I want to go back in the comments. Mark, is he saying that he was at the game?
Really?
I'm sure he was.
I was at the front row in the goal line. Reggie did his barrel roll right in front of us.
Well,
that's cool.
Now, that's super cool.
Now I will say this though, because I've seen the play where Vince runs in and had this young.
His name was Frosty Rucker. He played in the league too. He played most of his career in Cincinnati. Yeah, Frosty, we won.
I'm sure he's watching.
We'll send it to him.
Right.
Hashtag Frosty.
But he's a good player. But it was a battle, man, and there was a hell of a team, but we were determined to win, and man, that was just the ultimate moment of just persevering and actually manifesting what you had in your dreams, and actually coming to fruition, man. So I'm gonna always pay reverence to that moment because I had a great team.
Well, let me ask you a question to pivot for everybody on that note. I'm curious what your guys' answer is on this, and those who are watching as well. How do you guys, especially now, J. Scott, as you move into the civilian world, you've been out of the league for a while, but how do you guys define greatness? What is greatness to you? This is something I ask myself often, and I don't know if I have a good answer, but how do you define greatness in your world, in your life?
Yeah, for me, greatness is the unwillingness, greatness is the willingness to make your best better. To make your best better. And it's this constant, it's this continuous cycle of recognizing where you are and where you're trying to get to. And if you're constantly progressing, that's great. That's greatness, because you're always moving forward, right? Yeah, you may take one step back, but I guarantee you I'm gonna take 2 steps forward. So over the course of time, it's always positive. It's always better. And I'm making my best. I'm making my best even better. And so that's great. Like whatever it may be, it doesn't have to be football. It can be a father. It can be your greatness as a father, greatness as a businessman, greatness as a mentor or mentee. Like being a steward of God, whatever it is that greatness of willingness to make your best better.
I've always found that the athletes that I talk to, they're just wired different. There's just this constant. There is no need for motivation.
Right.
Their coaches are motivators, but there's no need to be motivated. They all are challenged. Almost a double dog dare you to go out and not just take your guy out, but take him out. And it's like, I got you.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what I was saying. It's kind of like the theme for the day is mentality. It's a mindset, if you will, and it's something that was subconsciously put in my head from my father. And at the same time, when you're constantly around people who are as good as you or better than you,
I got it over here.
There's this internal competition. Yeah, and if you got any ounce of testosterone in your body, you're gonna be like, okay, I see you did that pretty good. Let me see if I can beat you, right? It's that internal competition, and kind of pivot to that point. That's one thing that I really enjoyed being with the Steelers, was that Coach Tomlin was very strategic in the subconscious mind of always having us compete. He did that by having a pool table in the locker room, having a ping pong table in the locker room, having a poker table in the locker room, Foursquare in the locker room. Why? When we have our little breaks between meetings, he wants us always competing. And it boils down to, we get into a spiritual or biblical sense, it's Proverbs 27:17, which means it talks about iron sharpening iron.
Yes.
And the only way you can get better is someone competing, getting you better, calling you out on your shit, like, hey, that's not right, you need to do better, or like, okay, that was a good one, let's do it again. And you can't sharpen iron with balsa wood. You got to sharpen iron with iron. And so that comes from a mentality. It comes from a certain level, the environment that you surround yourself with. And that's one thing that I always do, is I always try to surround myself around people who can make me better, right? That's why I always have an affliction with the Frakes family, is because I'm always learning something new, right? It's like, damn, I never thought about that, right? Because he has his expertise in oil and gas. He has his expertise in tobacco. He has his expertise in video production. He has his expertise in hospitality. And I'm like, damn, I never knew that, right? And there's a certain level of humility that you have to have in order to be great. You cannot be great thinking you know everything. Right. If someone says they know everything, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. So,
Adrian, how do you define greatness?
I can't top that. I don't think I've reached that level yet, although I feel like I'm on that path. But according to like what Jay Scott is saying, I've always felt that when you surround yourself with positive people, like-minded people, you start changing, right? You evolve, and I'm still in that evolution period. So I don't know, to answer your question.
I was humble.
He's humble, right?
I look at people, how they move versus and how they talk about how they're going to move. Is that I would say you are great. And I would say that because I have literally seen you have a concept in your mind with your company, and you're just elevating it, take it to the next level. And my whole thing is that who's to say that your company isn't a major program that's on DirecTV? Who's to say that, right? And so my whole thing is big ups to you, because a lot of people quit already. A lot of people tap out. And like I said, I've seen that in my career. I've seen so much great talent tap out. Right, and so from my encouragement or my mindset that I'll pour into you, don't quit. If you have a vision, you got something that you want to do that's great. That's the first step of greatness, is having a vision, having it in your head. It's your vision.
Love it. Thank you.
To your point, it's like that. Surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, right?
Yeah.
That's something that it's okay to fail. You know, we actually just had a family meeting on Sunday. This is how I know my family's great. I'm not great yet, but one day I will be. But it was Sunday, and we're all struggling because we have growth, we have life, we have everything, right? Everyone struggles. But we came together on Sunday as a family to go, all right, everybody, what are you struggling with? Put it out there. And everyone, we took a couple of hours, had a cigar, kids are hanging in the pool, and all we're doing is working on how we help each other.
Iron
It was iron sharpening iron, because it was probably we're learning how to be the best family we can be and the best family to each other. And that moment was just so clear. It was just, my dad and I could have a conversation how we're going to make ourselves better, but it was, no, we're going to show everybody what it's like to be vulnerable, say, I'm struggling here, I fucked up here, Pops did the same way on the same day that I did. Almost parallel, but we all just were able to stop and go, hey, it's all right to fall, fall forward, fall with the people you care about, be man enough to go, hey, I messed up, and say it in front of everybody. You know, I messed up here, I treated somebody the way they didn't deserve it, I apologize for that, here's the key to the issue, and everybody works together. It's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. It was that was greatness to me.
Yeah, and I would add to that. It's like one of the mentalities that I learned from my father was that I never lose. I never lose. Never. I ain't say I never fail. I just said I never lose.
No.
Yes.
So guess what?
Yeah.
If I never lose, then so instead of always saying like I don't win all the time, I changed the mindset and say I never lose. So what happens is if when I fail something, it's wins and W's and L's, wins and learns.
Ooh,
I learned something from it. So I never lose, ever. And so now I take that same mentality going on to the football field. Yeah, I don't never lose, ever. And you can see it in my spirit, I don't lose, ever. And so you take that mentality to whatever it is, whether it's business or being a father or being a son, whatever it is, I never lose, never lose.
I want to kick that over because I believe that my dad is a great man. And I think that's how I define greatness. Is not important for me personally, but I believe my dad is a great man. Has achieved greatness and will become greater. But I'm curious how you define greatness.
Well, I'm extremely humbled by that, but I think that for me, it's helping others accomplish what they want to accomplish, push them, guide them, let them know that everything is possible, and then it's almost like pushing somebody up a rung of a ladder and then have them turn around and help and pull me back up with them to that next rung. And we're going to climb it together. But to me, I don't think I'm great until everybody around me is great. And if I can help in any way possible, I'm going to do that, no matter who it is. I don't care who it is. But I want to help them, let them know that there are no boundaries. There are no hurdles. We're going to push through it, no matter what it is. Brandon and I have had conversations, and it's just, this is the tough phase of what we're doing, and we're going to get through it. So to me, it's kind of like the helping somebody out of a fire. I would rather help them out and then have them give me a hand and pull me out. But that's where I'm at. I would rather, I'm okay leading, but I don't want to be the guy that's just always follow me. I want to be helping push, but just know that there's no limit. There's you can solve any problem.
Yeah,
you can literally solve any problem.
And to that point is what you're saying. And again, it all goes back to spiritual in a biblical sense. Is that regardless of your faith system, whatever it may be, God, Jesus Christ was a servant as well as a king. So there's times when he had to lead, sometimes he had to follow. And so what that really boils down to is stewardship. And and it's a certain level of humility you have to it's like even in the military, it's like a good leader is willing to get in the shit. Get into the rough and get with his team, because at that point, a good leader, if a good leader is willing to get dirty with his unit, guess what? His unit's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna rock with him. You know what? Let me push a little harder. Let me do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let me go beyond my comfort zone. And guess what? Iron sharpening iron, man. That's what it all boils down to.
Yeah.
That's what it all boils down to.
I think that's the one thing that I think from a very early age that I always instilled with you guys was lead, not follow.
Yep.
And you guys adapted to that early in your life, particularly in athletics, and you always made sure everybody around you was better. And that's just I think a lot of people just need permission to succeed. And I think that's the act of a good leader is to say, look, it's okay. Just let's go do this together. But I'm with you. If I was leading troops, I'd want to be in the front, not the back. I wouldn't want to be the guy all the way in the back worried about getting shot. I want to be the guy in the front going, I made it through, you guys can make it through. They'll go through faster, better, stronger, but sometimes you just got to see it happen. I watched this amazing thing one time. It was at a conference. They pulled a guy up. They had him stand there and do a standing broad jump. I want you to jump as far as you possibly can. And he jumped. And they marked it. And everybody was like, okay. And then they said, we're bringing somebody else up. Now you do it. And he jumped further. The next guy, the guy that jumped the first time, jumped 2 feet further than he did before. It's like he needed permission to go that distance. It's like the 4-minute mile. Once it was broke, everybody broke it. It's like somebody had to give permission to bust through a barrier they didn't think was possible. So that's I would be that's to me that would be, I guess my position on the concept of greatness is just and look, we've all lost, we've all failed, we've all had something, and it sucks. Yeah. And if that feeling doesn't bother you, you got a problem.
You got a problem, right.
And you probably have heard that in the locker room before. Feel this loss. Because you don't want to feel this every week.
That's one thing Ron Carson used to say, is he used to say, find me a good loser and I'll find you a loser.
Right. That's why I don't lose. I don't lose. right.
For sure.
Yeah, man. That's spot on.
Yeah. Well, cheers, guys. Solid talk.
Solid talk for sure.
Yeah, love it. Great conversation. Thank you, Jay Scott. We have some comments here, and I think apparently you spoke to Josh Sims today.
Josh Sims came in and had a rough day, and Josh Sims, thank you for saying what you said in the comments. But what I'll say is that's what we live for. So when I saw Josh Sims came in with that look, the look when you walk in, I was going to go home, but I didn't want to go home. I wanted to stop here and ground out. And there was an opportunity to do something small, and he took the steps to make this happen. So I did very little. I did basically nothing, but I'm glad to see that Josh Sims did have a good day. He has a tough job that him and I connect on. He's a special education teacher, which sounds like it's
a glorious job.
It sounds like something that's glorious but at the end of the day, what they don't write is at some point you're gonna have to restrain a child. And I've lived that life. That's not a life that I have now. That is a life that I've had to be a part of. So him and I connect on that. I understand the emotion that's in that, and I'm glad we only had a couple minutes together. I'm glad he was able to come in. So thank you for coming in, because it takes a bigger man to turn the car this direction than for me to do something small to help.
And I'm just going to say something about this community that we've created here. I've never seen a group of people so willing to help. It's, we're a retail outlet. You're not going to go to Nebraska Furniture Mart for help. You have a shitty day, they're not going to give you a better deal.
Do you have your receipt?
You have your receipt, exactly. But I was pulled aside about a year and a half ago by a guy that had lost his he and his wife split up. He was having a tough time, and he told me, he said, look, there was a night that I had decided I was going to end it. But right before I did that, I thought, no, you know what? I'm just going to go to ICC and hang out. And he goes, this place saved my life. because people embraced him, talked to him, worked through it, and he realized that, life's too precious. But people get to a level, and when you have a community that's here ready to help, it's incredible. Listening to Jim Trader tell his story about just the way that our community came together when he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, it was just, it's heartwarming to us to think that there's a place that does that offers that safety blanket, so to speak, but it changes people, and that's great. I'm glad that people will open up and see it.
And that's a good thing too, is like, for me, when I try to walk this earth, try not to make everything transactional and try to make things transformative. Like transform mindset, transform thought processes, transform lives. Because when everything's transactional, it's like you're just a cog in the wheel and you're just going with no end purpose, no North Star, right?
Yep.
So, seek to be transformative. So the gentleman that you spoke of is dealing with, special needs kids. Like, big shout out to you, man, is being in someone's life and being transformative. So, don't let the world knock you down. Like, yeah, there's going to be tough times, but just know that you're being transformative and you're actually inputting positivity in someone else's life. So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, Jobin, what's greatness to you? How do you define greatness?
Man, you guys covered it all. It's better to be your best, but I do agree with whatever your best is, if you can continue to chase that.
Yeah, just chase your best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
That's a good way to look at it, too.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the best I can do. How do you get better?
Yep. How do
Josh
you do
Sim
better?
says it's definitely cheaper than therapy.
For sure. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
We got your 1 hour with the therapist right here.
Yeah. And it worked. I mean, this right here can transform lives. I'm telling you.
Yep.
It can transform lives.
Yeah, you
That's
just
for
got to
sure.
let it. You
got
got to
to.
let it. You got to
Trust
take
the
the
process.
steps.
Got to trust the process.
So
come on down to ICC.
Come on down. So we've had a very serious conversation to this point.
Thanks for taking the pivot.
And we can always drop, some of our open-ended questions. Maybe we talk about, he's, he follows art. He follows he's into music and things like that. Has a entertainment company that does stuff with music. You understand a lot of that side of it. Would you say you're a child of the 90s?
Oh man, I'm an 80s baby.
You're an 80s
I'm an
baby?
80s baby with an old soul.
80s baby with an old soul. So, top 3 songs of the 80s that when you listen to them, it takes you back in time.
Okay. Ooh, that may have been late 70s. Ooh, so 80s.
70s would be easier.
Yes.
How about the 3 of your childhood?
Oh, the 3 of my childhood. All right, so this gonna throw you, right? It's gonna
Here comes, I could see Britney Spears is coming out right now.
It's gonna be a curveball, right? So, when I was a little kid, I always was listening to Earth, Wind and Fire, Frankie Beverly and Maze, and so I had an affliction to instrumentation, percussion, live, brass, horns.
And nobody does it better than Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right. So with that being said, again, understand the origin.
Yeah.
The first song that really damn, this is it. It was one, I'm an 80s baby, and I listened to UGK, right? Underground Kings, is hip hop artist. And the album was called Riding Dirty. And right, so quick story. The first hip hop that I got introduced to was MC Hammer, right?
Yeah.
Trash. It's absolute trash. It is what it was, right?
B was in his video, so we know.
It's trash, right? It was trash.
I do videos.
But
You didn't write it.
But what happened was my cousin introduced me to this artist called UGK, and I was like, all right, cool. Now my cousin, he got away with listening to parental advisory type, it's cussing and explicit content and all this stuff. And I heard UGK, and I heard the bass line. They sampled Earth, Wind and Fire, and I was like, And I'm like, wait a minute, I know this. And then I'm hearing rap on stuff that I heard when I was a little kid, when I was around my parents. And I was like, I like this. I like this. And then ever since then, I just became a fan of, that homage to old school, but putting a new twist to it. So, yeah, my first introduction was definitely Underground Kings, and I actually got a chance to meet Bun B. Oh my God, this guy's he's like my Mount Rushmore when it comes to artists, because he resonated with me, because, having a similar background as mine, and speaking, being a poet of, his surroundings, what he grew up in. I'm like, damn, that's exactly what I see. That's exactly what I experience, right? Yeah. And then with, that'll probably be my number one. Number two, Erykah Badu, right? One, she's Dallas native, D-Town in the building. I love all of her music. She does no bad music. I actually absolutely love her music. And then the third would definitely have to be Anita Baker. Anita Baker. Why? Yeah. It's because I remember every time my mom forced me to drive with her when she goes shopping. She goes shopping and doesn't buy anything, right? So she'll spend the entire weekend driving all across the DFW Metroplex. She would have Anita Baker playing in her car, and I'm just like, and that was like, and it was cool because I'm just in the passenger seat, just relaxing, and sweet love. I was just like, and her voice was just so melodic, and so I always have an affliction to things that they can resonate with me sonically, right? And those artists right there, they can't do no wrong. Play anything from any of those artists. Let it play, run it back. I love it. Yeah. So those are definitely my top three. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. What are three from your childhood that resonate with you?
I mean, take it back. I was born in the 70s, but once I started listening to music, it was more like 80s as well. But a lot of my uncles, I was listening to Chicago.
Okay.
So I go back to a lot of Chicago, and I was still Peter Cetera. Okay. Back in those days, the original new singer, and even like when they got the new band members and stuff, I still listen to them. I don't know if I have three necessarily, but I mean that's definitely one that I can listen to Chicago like all day, every day.
Yeah, and that's the thing about music, man. I know you're a big funk guy, right? You put in any funk, this guy is about to get live. I'm telling you, he's gonna turn into a different person, right? So
and I don't even drink.
right.
We've seen that.
It's something about music that it always you can always say what was happening the first time you heard blank, right? And it's for everybody, right? And then so let me ask you. I know I'm turning into the host now, but what was your childhood music that really resonates?
We were raised right. So
Van Halen.
No, we weren't listening to Van Halen. So I remember if there were a few songs that would take me back to being a kid, it would be one would be like Flashlight.
Oh. Flashlight.
I think, or maybe Knee Deep. Probably Knee Deep would be probably more Knee Deep. I think another would be Queen. Another one, Bites of Dust.
Ooh,
yeah. That dum dum dum. Yeah, but that bass line is right. Melodic, and when you turn that music, it's like smoking a Luciano cigar. Right. You can get multiple things. You turn up the volume, and all of a sudden you start hearing that guitar. Oh my God, that. The way that they start bringing everything in, that was absolutely killer. And then I would say maybe something like. I think the easy would be Montel Jordan.
Okay.
I think I think maybe Montel was in there, but in the 928, I told you not long ago I found the actual Dr. Dolittle soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's a killer soundtrack, man.
It is.
It's got Aaliyah. It's got some really good
The
music on
90s
there.
was the decade of soundtracks. Soundtracks were just
Yeah,
good
no
back
doubt.
then.
They were rich. They were well put together.
Yeah,
like
it was
good
a real
90s
compilation.
R&B.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
really, they would tell a whole story with that. So I think those would be my three.
So three songs I think that stick out when I was young. Stevie Wonder's Superstition,
Oh, okay.
Shaka Khan.
Oh, yeah. Yo, you coming with some fire.
Yeah, and then my first album
You gonna say
that I
Rufus?
ever got was, well, the first album that I ever bought was Kool and the Gang. So Jungle
Okay.
Boogie and those. But
That was the first album you bought?
That was the first album I ever got.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
in the game. That's cool as hell.
But I loved Ohio Players. I loved, but Earth, Wind and Fire and the Commodores. The brass. They had this whole brass section laying on top of just funk and bass and percussion and the vocals were just everything. Everything was entertaining. Every part of it was entertaining. I had a chance to see Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh, wow.
Unreal.
You know, another one that I was just listening to the other day when I'm driving is Rapper's Delight.
Okay.
I was-
all right.
I mean,
I was gonna say that was the first album I bought,
man.
but I don't want to seem like I was trying to fit in.
No. Just play the card. But if you walk up to Nate and go, "How's this chicken taste?" Do you know what he's gonna say?
Yeah, he'll
Chicken tastes
just
like
take it
wood.
from that
Yeah,
point
he's
on.
got it from there.
Yeah.
The hip hop and hip. You could.
Yeah.
He's got that from the beginning to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff. Cool in the Gang is that? Let me clear my throat.
No. Kool and the Gang is like Jungle Boogie.
Who's? Let me clear my throat.
That's
That was a little Dougie Fresh. That was
okay.
later. Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
original beatboxer.
we want to hear from you guys too. What your three childhood songs
Jovan, what are your three childhood songs that take you back?
Maybe all Hindi songs.
I was gonna say all that Bollywood shit.
Some Bollywood shit.
Bollywood stuff.
You got the fingers going like this. And stuff.
You gotta have.
So he can't actually he can't go dance anywhere. Like he can't come in here on First Friday and dance because he needs 37 other Indians behind him that are doing that. They got to dance the whole thing.
All right, so you get one chick song. What's the one chick song
The one chick song.
Yeah.
DJ Cool. Thank you, Frank Tomaszewski.
Anita Baker had some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Chick song.
Yeah.
Anything from Sade.
Yeah.
Good point. Great point.
Yeah.
Great point. Great point.
Her voice is butter.
And still
It's
is.
absolute
Yes,
butter.
yeah,
is,
it's
yeah.
like she's got a fountain of youth with her
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
It's so silky, just like yeah.
Who sings At Last? At Last.
Etta James.
Etta James. That's
good,
That I think. That's probably
got
me.
some sultriness in it. Yeah, she got some pain in that song. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
Aretha could let it go.
Yes.
She let the clutch out.
Aretha was a I don't know the proper term, but she was an opera singer as well. Like, you ever heard her sing opera? It's amazing. Like traditional Italian opera. Aretha.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, it's amazing. You be like, whoa. I
can see that.
Aretha can, yes.
She has that range.
She can sing traditional
Josh
opera.
Sims coming in strong with Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul. I want to go, what, Laker girl Paula Abdul?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
In living color, Paula Abdul.
Oh, geez.
Solid. So I have a feeling we've taken this pivot before. We might stick on this one for a while.
It's going to turn a little bit.
Then we start talking about J-Lo.
Yeah.
That's a living color.
I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
See ya.
So was it J-Lo that was on In Living Color?
Yeah,
It
J-Lo.
wasn't Paula Abdul. She wasn't on there.
I don't know. I know
She
J-Lo.
could have been one of the
Hey,
dancers on
Paula,
there.
let us know if you're watching.
Yeah, I want to say she was a choreographer for Janet Jackson. I want to say.
That sounds right.
Janet Jackson she had some good stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Janet Jackson did soundtrack era, right? Janet Jackson in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was revolutionary.
Yeah, she was definitely revolutionary.
Yeah.
Man,
And she
the
set herself
Jacksons.
apart from not just being Michael Jackson's brother. She was a force in herself.
Now the other female artist that created a whole new genre is Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
She just, when everybody was trying to copy everybody else, she just took a left.
Yeah.
She was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the collaboration with Timberland, like she was in a different stratosphere. Yeah, no question. Yeah. But my chick song, and this gonna show my old.
Here we go.
No, check it out, right?
Yeah.
Inside My Love by Minnie Riperton.
That's kicking it old school.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look that up.
yeah. Now,
Yeah.
when you with your significant other, go on, put that on. Hey, you'll thank me later. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
I like you're trying to be PC. Your significant other.
Your significant other, you know. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's Marvin Gaye can set the tone.
Yeah.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
Teddy P. Like, you see the documentary on Teddy P?
No.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I think it's on Showtime. Amazing. Yeah. Like when I say Teddy P, he had the women. Yeah, he had the women. He had the women. You hear me? Like swoon. Like, watch the documentary. You'll see what I'm talking about. He had the women.
Yeah, but did anyone have the women the way that the Beatles had the women? They had women fainting from screaming.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. But there was a certain level.
MJ, Elvis had them.
Elvis, yeah.
I mean, the Beatles were the highest grossing artists ever, right? And they had, they definitely had the fan. But like Teddy P was a sex symbol. Like he had women literally throwing panties on the stage.
Yeah.
Watch the documentary. I'm telling you, throwing panties on the stage.
I think
it's a little different.
Engelbert Humperdinck had the same thing, but I don't like his music.
Yeah. You know what? Like rock and roll is known for that. Women will
In that era.
Yeah, in
right,
that era.
for sure,
Oh yeah. No
that was
question.
the thing.
The new Elvis movie that's out.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's really good.
It's good? Okay.
It's really
It's
good.
good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Elvis liked fat chicks, though, didn't he?
No, but he liked a lot of them.
Oh, no, Marvin.
I think he liked his drugs a little bit better than that. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye,
Yes.
yeah.
So, little fun fact: my cousin on his side, Marvin Gaye is his first cousin. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So my cousin that was married in, his first cousin is Marvin Gaye.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn, that's some soul.
And ironically enough, my uncle that was married in the family, he was a musician. And so that's how I got introduced to music at such an early age, because like Christmas, my uncle had 4 brothers, and they literally was a band.
Nice.
They were a band. My uncle played trombone, his brother played trumpet, another brother played bass guitar, and another one played sax.
Yeah.
So you get a song and say, all right, play this, and they like, okay, they figure it out. Live music in Christmas time. I'm talking about playing anything, cover,
That's
like
awesome.
anything. And I'm like, I'm hearing it live. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Right there.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
a little
spot.
Earth, Wind, and Fire right there.
Yeah,
For those of you who are just tuning in and wondering what that line's from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, when they bring it.
Oh, man, I'm
come
telling
on.
you.
But you know who else can bring it? Al Green.
Oh yeah.
If you want to talk about just silky voices.
Yeah. Al Green make you do some questionable things and like just take your clothes off for no reason.
there's guys throwing their panties up on stage.
Al Green make you do some stuff. Green, like I love you, man. you saved my marriage.
So let's bring it current to that same era. Current era, but it's Silky
Silk Sonic, baby.
Sonic?
Come on. They are saving the music industry. All right? Come on.
Man,
Come on.
whole album.
You put that on?
Yeah,
Come on.
oh.
777.
After last night.
Oh, come on.
I think I'm in love.
They even got
with
Bootsy
you.
Collins on the album.
If you got Bootsy co-signing,
Come on.
you got to be doing it right.
Oh, yeah.
That is the best
That is,
album I've
man,
heard.
That saved music.
It did, 'cause there was
Really,
nothing else to
because
listen
it was
to.
live
It really
instrumentation. It's true artistry.
Oh.
Like you can tell, you can hear it, man. And then
Come on. That is the best album. there
I'm
is.
telling you. So if you need to make up with your significant others, here's a song that I just listened to, and it's gonna change your life. It's called Splash by John Legend on his new album. Check it out.
Check it out.
Get with your lady. Get some roses. Get some chocolate. Some champagne. Put on Splash.
Do we need to ask what you did wrong in order that you needed to patch up that boat?
Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, I'm on the rocks right now, dog. I'm looking this up right now. Not forgetting about this one.
Yes.
Here's what I'm looking forward to. So we're going to a concert on Friday.
Okay.
With Garrett Reed.
Okay.
But it's a rock concert. And Ale doesn't know who we're going to see. And Ale doesn't know how to move to anything that doesn't dum 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 dum. I cannot wait. We're going to see I don't know, some rock band. They're a big rock band, but she is going to be lost as shit. I can't wait to see this.
I took my wife. I had artist seats. The artist gets a block of seats that are allocated to him, and we were from Here to Be from Fleetwood Mac. And we're 2 songs in, and my wife's sleeping on my shoulder. And I'm like, we got Stevie Nicks is spitting on us.
You can see
and she's just sleeping.
No, it's Shinedown. It's Shinedown. That's who it is.
Scorpions are playing tomorrow. Shinedown.
Yeah, this one's Shinedown. You know Shinedown?
Yeah, but I'd rather see the Scorpions.
You know the one. When I really got I started really liking rock was when I heard Renegade.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
And so this is what made me love it, right? It was the atmosphere. We're in Pittsburgh, right? So anytime it's around third quarter and the defense is up after a TV timeout, what'll happen is they'll turn the lights down in the stadium and they'll have everybody focus on the Jumbotron and there'll be clips of like Troy Polamalu making a vicious tackle, James Harrison making a vicious tackle, Ryan Clark making a vicious tackle, and it starts off doom, 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 and then you see like splashes of someone getting their helmet knocked off, doom, 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 and then all of a sudden you see all the people, all the stands with the terrible towels, and then doom, oh na na na. Doom. And it's like you seen it, and next thing you know, and then it gets to the and I'm telling you, when I say the freaking crowd goes ape shit, the team gets so flustered. False start. I'm telling you. And at that point, I'm like, damn, this song is transformative. Man, I had to go ahead and download it on my iPod or my iPhone at the moment. I was like, this is legit. I mean, the certain energy that song plays is different, right? Yeah. So if you haven't download that song, that's a good one.
And while you're at it, go ahead and put on Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. Before a game.
Before a game. Oh my God!
Did you listen to it too?
Oh yes,
that was it.
Absolutely.
I got to. So I transferred over my senior year to a different school, and I put that on before one game. And they were all like, what is this? What do you mean, what is this? This is a new pre-game routine.
Yeah, you got to
I think to the day they might still be playing that day. Man,
yes, they
that
do.
little at the beginning.
Yeah,
when it gets that drum solo, it's time to go.
This new deal that they've done at Nebraska, they put $14 million light show at the University Stadium. And whatever they do,
distract you from the football.
It is everything is red. At a night game, everything is red, and they play Thunderstruck.
Oh.
And the lights beat with this, and I don't know how they do it, but when people hold up their phones, the lights on their phones are beating with Thunderstruck, and then there's fire coming up and all kinds. It is unbelievable. Damn. But what's the Tunnel Walk song's pretty badass.
The Tunnel Walk song is, that's something else.
I'm telling you, man, like to you, that song gets you. Like if your hair is not standing up, get out. You don't need to be playing football.
Yeah, you're not intense enough.
You're not locked in.
No, you're about to get pancaked.
You're not locked in.
No,
man.
When you're nervous, everything
you got those butterflies, some good butterflies. Like, I can't wait till this first play. I'm about to knock the helmet off. Like, I'm coming after you, buddy. I'm coming. Yeah, I love it, man.
So that brings up a question in my head. So in the NFL, when you were playing, and even in college, were you a shit talker, or were you just a quiet, polite guy out on the field?
I talk shit.
Did you?
I talk shit.
Yeah.
My thing is like if you don't like, this is my thing. This is who I am. If you don't fuck with me, I ain't gonna fuck with you, right? So I'm going against a guy. Good job. All right, I see you. Good job. But as soon as you say something like, oh, you weak. Oh, I'm weak, huh? How about that weak ass film you put on last week when you gave up? When you got bull rush, when you got pancake. Oh, how about that? Oh, yeah. And then I turn it on. I don't stop because it's like, how dare you talk to me like that?
Yeah,
like,
I saw the film.
Certain players. Pro Bowl players, and I say it because I don't care. I kicked your ass when I played you. Like Terrell Suggs, like he used to talk shit. I'm like, oh, come on with it. I ain't scared of you, buddy. Trust me, I'm cut the same way you are. If not, I'm cut different. Like, come on with it. Let's go. Next play. Don't take no play off, bro. I don't care if you a Pro Bowler. I got something for your ass. Like, I ain't scared of you. I am not scared of you.
Who was the biggest shit talker that you had across from you?
What's his trash ass? Johnny Jolly. He played at Texas A&M. And I'm gonna speak negatively on him. You trash, and I know you trash, and you know you trash. All right, but he just I get fired up.
He's got some flashbacks. I believe.
And I dare you to say something. But what happened?
Some more drink.
What got to that was he did something so disrespectful. I remember we played Texas A&M at A&M. It was my junior year, and he spit in my face. Yeah, until the end. So I got so pissed off. I remember Coach Brown held me back because I went into Texas A&M locker room looking for him.
Oh shit!
And I don't care if I had 30 A&M, 100 A&M players. I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm coming for you, and I'm going to demolish you, bro. Like, don't test me. Like, I turned into an animal. I'm an animal. Like, I'm a beast with it. Like, as long as you don't mess with me, we cool. Like, I'm smooth. Like,
that's a good question.
Did you find him?
No, I didn't find him. But I found his ass when he played for Green Bay. I found him in the Super Bowl. Check the tape. I dare you. Look at Super Bowl 45, Pittsburgh Steelers versus Green Bay. I gave him that work.
To pull that up.
Yeah, look it up. I gave him that work. Yeah, like, I talk that noise. When you talk noise to me, yeah, I'm going to come back with it. I'm from Oak Cliff. Like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of no man.
Is that Facebook?
We got kicked out, yeah.
But yeah, so
I wonder if they pulled us.
Wow.
Oh, they pulled us?
I wonder if they pulled us.
Oh, my bad.
Started again. I didn't even get to the big three.
It's good on YouTube. My Wi-Fi's coming in strong.
YouTube is fine. Facebook kicked us off.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I don't know
bumped
what
us.
we said.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Damn.
They probably did the thing on the 10-year-old kids.
Yeah, it took a little time for that. That might have been a strong start. I'm going to be honest.
I'm not going to kid you.
Oh yeah, I mean they might have just dumped us. Did it dump you on your side?
I don't see us.
Yeah.
All right, well let's cheers it and get off of this bitch.
Sorry.
That's it. We can't get back
Don't
in.
be sorry. No, it just says no. This content is not available.
Yeah.
Damn.
It just
Fucking Nazis.
we did it. We did it, boys.
Yes.
We did it.
This is
Hey, Zuckerberg,
This is the first.
you got to have something else to do on a Tuesday night.
You
to watch
goddamn
this show.
communists. We're not on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, all right, boys. Cheers. That was a good one. First one we've actually been canceled, so thank you.
Nice.
Cancel
First for
culture.
everything. This one's you, Zuckerberg.
What we have to do for our own peace of mind is we have to ask them the big three anyway.
All right, are we still on
Instagram
YouTube?
is still live.
Instagram's still live, so
This is an Insta exclusive right now.
All right.
Big three.
Hold on.
Fire it through quick.
I'm going to go into...
How about all three at one point?
Are we talking about
All
basketball?
three.
All three, one question.
Yeah. Adrian, you take it.
Sasquatch, a.k.a. Bigfoot, UFOs, and ghost. Do you believe from a 0, which is me, to a 10? That means you're
a
You had
believer.
lunch with them.
Gotcha.
yeah.
And what was the second one?
Sasquatch, UFOs. And have UFOs visited us? And do they exist?
And ghost.
And ghosts.
And ghosts are apparitions, doors get knocked open, things like that. Do you believe in that? Or do you believe that there's spirits?
Okay. All right. So Sasquatch, absolute 0. All right. UFOs, I'll say like a 6. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's plus
And
5.
ghosts,
Yeah.
20.
Oh, there's a story there.
Oh, we got
story.
So that's an invite back because these cocksuckers canceled us off here. So we got to have him back so we can talk about that before.
Yeah, we got to get to his book too.
Well, I mean, we're already cut. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna have part 2 of the show.
yeah, catch us for
Definitely
part 2 with
yeah.
Jay Scott. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate
pleasure,
you. We
my
love
pleasure.
you, and look forward to many, many years of prosperity for all of us.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining.